Hello, can you hear me? Testing one, two, three. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Dwight. Okay, good. Dwight, switch the camera. Good morning, everybody. Or afternoon, or whatever. Let's see if we can catch that. We've got trains. Hi, John. Let's see. So, Curly wants to see a big boy. Dwight wants to see a big boy. Let's switch your camera. Right here. How is everybody today on August 17th? We're halfway through August. Okay, once we get this Great Northern Tree coming back here, then maybe we'll send out the excursion. So it looks like it's 9 o'clock. Everybody, welcome to my layout room. And you can see I've named the show Rocky Off the Rails. And Rocky's right there. Not sure if you can hear the sound of that engine. BLO or BLI Mikado. Yes, Dwight, it's 9 a.m. here. I'm guessing it's 11 a.m. there. Thanks, Kyle, for the backdrop. That's a photo of Mount Shasta. Let's switch back to that camera. So I'm not sure how much of a tour I'll be able to give because I don't have my phone set up here. I'm using as a microphone right now. Let's get the big boy going. So let's see. It says we got 6 people watching. I only see 2 in the participants. We lose people? Yep, we are indeed in scale. Right. So the camera view you're seeing right now is of my 10-track staging yard. And I've got 3 more trains set up to run with another. Let's see, we've got 2 F7s and another, I forget if it's I think it's a heavy Mikado, Spokane and Portland and Seattle. That's why I'm hearing twice. Top the tail end of the Great Northern Train again. Going past Mount Shasta. I didn't time it recently. Uh-oh. I have a derailment. Of course, it happens. Oh, I know why. I got two things on the reversing loop. These trains too close together. Okay. Back on the track. It's a big wall. It's a pain. All right. Okay. Everything's good now. Back to the computer. Oh no. I'm so sad. Well, if it wasn't 9 o'clock in the morning, I'd say we should all hoist a beer and run some trains for Troy for Roy. So Roy is part of the reason why I started doing YouTube videos. If I sound weird, it's because I can hear everything I say from the channel. Maybe I should turn that off. So, okay, I got the channel turned off now. Yeah, that's so yeah, Roy Smith was a big reason why I started doing my YouTube videos. Certainly, it was one of the first channels that I saw when I started stuff again. Oh, I don't know, about 6 years ago. Hold on, I need to change switches here. Get this train back on the right track. Yeah, I'm sure he inspired us all with his clever way of doing his videos. I know he didn't do too many live ones, but he certainly had the videos down. Go and take a look at that on the Facebook page here. Let's see, Mike. Where are you, Mike? Yeah, so Mike wrote, "Hello friends, I'm posting this morning with some very sad news. My father, Roy Smith, passed away earlier this morning. In attendance was his nursing team. His head nurse, who has been a godsend, video called me so we would be in attendance as well. Still struggling to process this, still struggling how I'm going to tell his 95-year-old mother in Pennsylvania. I believe it was his wife Leonore's faith which kept him going so long. Once we lost her a few weeks ago, we knew there wasn't much hope. Thank you everyone who kept him in your thoughts and prayers. His nurse said a butterfly landed on the door. Maybe that was Leonore coming for him." So I had no idea that his wife had preceded him. Regarding his trains themselves, I do have a plan for those. Regarding the physical layout, most of you in this forum have seen his videos. I know this is a wild shot in the dark, but are there any other forum members in Panama who might be interested in pieces of his layout? I don't even know what model railroaders do in these situations. I know how hard Dad worked on it over the years, how much passion and love he had for the hobby, and how much all of you meant to him. Is there anyone in Panama with advice? Hi, Mr. Railroad. I'd like to say welcome, but I guess we have the passing of Roy here. Kind of a somber, sad bit of news. Well, thanks everybody who's here. We've got that Union Pacific excursion train running in honor of Roy. So I'll segue into another bit of reason why I'm doing 9 a.m. streaming. Again, because of Roy. I decided back in May that I should do something for him. And the only thing I thought could do is start collecting the layout photos of the month and doing those to keep his channel live. So I'll continue to do that as long as people continue posting, or as long as I'm here. Yeah, thanks again, Kyle, for bringing that to my attention. I would have seen it probably after the show ran, but I guess we have our own little kind of breaking news moment here. Anyways, so I decided back in May that I would figure out what it would take to put the layout photos of the month together, and it figured out it wasn't that hard to download them, collate them, put them into a video format, and then post them on a weekly basis at the time. I did weekly because it had been 9 months since Roy had, I keep saying Troy, my boss's name is Troy. Sometimes I get stuck, my brain gets stuck. But it'd been 9 months since Roy had done a layout photo, so I figured I'd catch everybody up. So I was doing those once a week. We finally caught up a few weeks ago, so we're down to a once a month release now. And I think September 7th I'll have, I think that's the Labor Day weekend. What was it? No, that's not the Labor Day weekend. The weekend after Labor Day, I'll have the August photos of the month up. So for anybody that's still posting, I know some of you are. For any of you that's still posting photos, I thank you. Let's see, I gotta go change the switches again here. The pins run into each other. Change that switch. All right, and so again, the layout is a work in progress. What you see here is just the staging level, really. Behind that photo backdrop is my Helix. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops. So it's actually pretty big. I think it extends out 6 or 7 feet. It's about a little bit over 3.5 feet wide. And at the bottom, there's a runaround that allows me to do one thing that I really wanted, even though I only had staging, was always have the ability to keep trains running. And there's a runaround that goes, or a reversing loop, basically, that goes around the outside of the Helix. How big is my room? Let's see. The far end where the camera is pointed to right now, there's that's 10 feet across there. Comes down to where I'm sitting, it's actually more like 15 feet across. And then the total length is, I don't know, 12, 14 feet. I need to measure it again. I've forgotten. I started work on this about, let's see, we bought the house in 2021. So I started this about 2022. Let me switch the camera again. Forgive my clumsiness. This is the first time I'm streaming, first time I'm doing StreamYard. So yeah, so take this camera, can back it up some. Oops, I didn't have a switch thrown properly. That's what you get for multitasking. Trying to run trains while talking and switching things. Okay, back to where was I? Yes, it's a good sized room for N scale. So here, what you see is what I'm calling basically the Circus Maximus. It's like the place where all the trains, well, I've got 10 tracks here of varying lengths. Some of them are, I mean, the main parts are all Pico Code 80, but I decided to use some of my Kato super elevated right here, and they don't do all the same sizes, so there's a single track right in here. And then I did buy these little sections that you convert from Kato to FlexTrack. Then at this level, I think just at this level, I have 50 turnouts, which is insane. And all of them are wired for control. Right now, though, I only have 24 of them hooked up to the Digitrax system. I'm all Digitrax. So that's what I use for DCC. I haven't had any real issues with that. If I had the Digitrax to Wi-Fi controller turned on, I could use the TCS controller, which I think is a really better controller than what Digitrax makes. Let's see if I can show people that. Go pick it up. Oh. People have this. I bought this when it first came out, the train control system, the UWT 50. Right now it's not working because I don't have my, that part of the layout is where, under the Helix is where I have the Wi-Fi hooked up. And it's not hooked up right now. I'll go back to another salute. Godspeed, my friend Roy Smith. Yeah, so it's kind of somber news. I don't know that I'll run the other 3 trains. I thought this would be a more festive occasion than it is. Certainly the debut of my live stream. Have news of Roy and his wife going off into the big beyond. So, hey, are you envious? Oh, John J7, always with the puns. You're very punny. See, even with there's only 4 or 5 of us here, and still we have 3 Johns. So let me go back to the other camera here. So lost my train of thought. Okay. So yes, Dwight. First time I was on your live stream, Dwight, I noticed there's so many Johns there. I started thinking about the Bruce's sketch from Monty Python. Is your name not John? Hello, John. Good morning, John. Good morning, John. Maybe we need to start the shows out that way. See, look, Kyle. Hey, welcome, Rick's Trains. So catch everybody up. Rick, our great Roy Smith has passed. I don't know if it was today, but Mike Smith, his son, announced that. So we're all a little bit somber here. At least I am. But I've got one of his favorite trains. I don't think he ever had this. So I'm kind of realizing his dream here. He never had this Kato big boy. I know he had the 844. And that's the excursion set, and he had that running on his layout in Panama. So let's go back. So this is it's what I call the Circus Maximus staging loop. And 50 some turnouts. I've got a little switching place, and maybe over in another show we'll take you over. I got a turntable and a roundhouse built, and I'm in the process, very, very slow, of actually getting an engine facility and a car facility structure built. But I think I'm assuming the mantle of the hobby's model railroading slowest model railroader. Since I saw how quickly from the videos Roy had set up his model railroad, and he had it up and running in faster than the 2.5 years that I've taken to get to this point. I think I'm slower because even the Helix, you can go up to the top of the Helix and it has a reversing loop. It will bring you back down. Okay. John 2, I think it's right. Big John. I think we have all things that we go slower and faster on. I think my problem is unlike a lot of people, I actually don't mind doing the electric parts. And let's see, I don't know, I probably can't show that. I really like doing the electric stuff, so I probably overkill stuff. Again, there's a lot of tortoises here. Each one of those tortoises, I think I have to have 5 different wires to them because I've got the frog power and I've got the power. Yes, Dwight, you're almost done. I didn't realize that 6 months to do Uncle Digger's cabin. Yes, I decided that the staging level would not have pink foam on it. So if I hadn't, it'd be like my first 2 layouts, and they would be, well, my first layout, which was a pink foam Wonderland, until I moved it to the other bay of the garage. Okay, John 2's Diner took 6 months. Yep. So I'll probably do some video next week of an actual tour of the layout. That way I can have a more controlled environment and I can do it with a camera instead of all these fixed webcams, which I'm surprised this actually turned out better for this live stream than I thought, even though I refused to initially pay StreamYard their I don't know, basic was $20 a month and professional was how much? 40? I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, foam boards are another thing that is kept us. I mean, I did foam boards. I used those 2x2 project boards, but the problem is with those, they're only 1 inch thick. And the other problem was that, well, they are a little bit expensive considering it's only 4 square feet. So you'd need, 8 of those to make a 4x8 sheet. And I don't have a truck, so getting a 4x8 sheet of foam here seems a little bit difficult, at least for this point. I probably will use foam just out of keeping the weight down for the. So I've got two more levels that will be above here. You can see what I've got here. This is the framework for the next Next level up. Yeah, Rick, that's Homosote is like old school. That's what my dad's Mall Railroad Club in Flagstaff, Arizona. They used Homosote above all the plywood. I think they had plywood and then Homosote. But I think you probably need to be mindful of the humidity with Homosote. Is that right? All right. We got the big boy coming past, and there's the little Rocky, the goat, the namesake for the show. I bought this, and of course, I took it out of the package, and what happened? My dog thought it was for him. And so he was in an argument with me over this being on a place where he couldn't get to. But he's now safely locked downstairs while I'm upstairs. But yeah, he was going around and he could sniff that out. But I think he's forgotten about it now, maybe. Yeah. J7, yeah, my problem is that I'll be doing something and then I'll discover, oh, with this other thing, I've got another project that I didn't finish. So I'll go do that. Let me turn the camera. I'll show you. Let's see. We can see that. Oop, I need to switch the camera. Switch to camera. Okay, yeah. You see this is my, now I'm looking at the train rolling past my main control panel. Let's see if I can talk it through. I don't think these LEDs are showing up, but I've got LED readouts that tell me the voltage, switches to control the power, a switch over here to control my programming tracks, which are these two right here. And then this opens to reveal the big wiring mess. We've got a Digitrax power supply. I've got a computer power supply, which I bump up to from 12 to 15 volts to power all my things that want Digitrax 15 volts. I can take this front. I won't do it right now because we'd have to stop the trains. But I can take this panel completely off, and I've got disconnects. There's about, it's crazy. There's 30 wires that go across this divide. So I've got three 10 place disconnects that I can quickly take that off. And now I've got a carriage. I got the bottom, it's on hinges, but I've got the bottom carriage bolts. You can slide that out of there. So I was going to say I got onto another project when I was rewiring all of my switches. when I was rewiring all my turnouts, and getting this distraction here by watching the trains. Thanks, Rick. It mostly works great, but there are some places where it's a little bit finicky. And again, this is one of the other reasons why I decided to always keep things running, because I didn't want to deal with doing a lot of work and then discovering that certain types of engines or rolling stock just didn't work. Pressure treated. Yep. So I'll talk about the bench work a little bit. I did this, I got 3/4 inch birch plywood, which was spendy at the time and even more so now. I think it's $70 or $80 a sheet. But I ripped those all down to these sections that are about, I don't know, 2.5. You can see that over on the other camera right there. I ripped those down to sections about, well, let's just say 3 inches by 8 feet. And then I build all of the bench work out of that. And since I'm up in a room where it's climate controlled most of the time, I think it'd vary over the course of a year between, like, say 65 and maybe 80 on a warm day when my air conditioner's not running, or when it's not running that well. So I haven't noticed any issues with track bending or shrinking that I did notice in the garage, especially with Kato. Kato had this, Kato, the unit joiners, the insulated rail joiners are not that insulated. So you have to watch out for those. Oh, that's good. I really wish, I almost bought a house that had a daylight basement, but it turned out there was a lot of troubles with it, so we backed out of that. Haven't bought anything for the layout for a while, I think, or I forgot. Got some 1x3s, a canvas to paint my logo, some glue, and some brushes. Yep. So at least that, oh, it's going to get back to, let's go back over to this other camera. So this structure you see here is actually, I cut this from a full sheet of plywood. It's one piece. So it goes from the floor to not quite the ceiling. Well, there's some other pieces that connect it to the ceiling. And that provides, there's 2 of them, and they provide what holds up this whole, basically 4x8 plus the turnaround area for the helix, and it will hold up the other 2 levels, as well as the top level, which is the lighting level for the second level. See that there? Move my headlamp out of the way. Yeah, so there's lots of work to be done still. Um, Lots of work to be done. And above the lighting level that I built half of right now. Well, I got the other half, but I didn't put the press board over the other section yet, and put up the LED lighting either. Which I'm trying to decide if I want to rip this LED lighting off and change color, because this is like a bright white. Maybe I want something cooler. Anyways, yeah, so these are 2 4x8 sheets. I ripped them, and I cut out the framework with a jigsaw. And so basically they form a pretty solid support structure, so they won't, the bending will be minimized. And plus, I'll slide in either an 18-inch. I haven't decided if I'm going to, each level I'm not going to come out the full 2 feet. So there won't be 4 feet total except near the end. But I haven't decided whether or not I might step back this one so I can get better access to the layer below. But the top level I might go the full 2 feet out, and then so it's a total 4 feet across for this peninsula. And then if you see back along the walls, I overdid it because I'm an engineer. I've got this heavy duty, it's usually used in garage, but heavy duty shelving, and then all of the benchwork rests on top of that. So that actually forms a pretty good thing. So I don't have any, I only have a limited number of areas where I am actually touching the floor. So it actually makes it, except for the helix here. So the helix, I built this big end unit here that supports one side of the helix, and the wall on the right hand side there supports the other end of the helix with a ledger board. And I've got 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood that are I used lag bolts into the 2x6s in back of the wall. Well, it might be 2x4s, but I think they're probably 2x6s. So getting close to an hour here. It looks like, how many people we got here? It says 8 people are viewing. That seems like a pretty good outing for the first time up. So Dwight, what are you doing tomorrow? Are you having your live stream? I asked Dwight, what are you doing tomorrow? Are we still finishing off Uncle Digger's train room? Let's switch this in here. Switch. Thanks, J7. Yep. Ah, okay. All right. Well, thanks, J7, John 7, for joining us. And thanks, everybody, for joining me on this first time. A little bit awkward here. So early on, I didn't even talk in my videos. I think that's some of the reason why I've got 60 some videos and people, it's not engaging. But yeah, I guess for a first live stream, this was okay. We only had one derailment. Actually, it was a problem with the two trains contending with the reverse loop at the same time. Thanks, John. Thanks, Rick. And I probably will do a live stream maybe once or twice a month. Depends if I can think about some content. I don't think I'm going to do a Dwight version, like try to construct something on live stream. I think I would drop too many F-bombs. But yeah, I'll try to do this. At least we could run some trains and keep the hobby going. I mean, roll back to reason why I'm doing this stuff, doing the layout photos is the same reason that Roy did it, was sharing the hobby. So I think there's lots of us sharing the hobby, but you know, I think if you don't share it, and like me, I don't have anybody come over to the house to see the trains that much. This is a great way to share with our community that's spread all over the world in some cases. So why not like me? I don't know, Dwight. Thanks, Dwight, for the thumbs up. And oh, why not? Why, like you? Like I said, I think I get frustrated putting some of these structures together. Can't be any worse than me cussing up a storm when I build something on my layout. Probably the same, Rick. In fact, my dog usually goes off and hides when the cursing starts up. But yeah, I think it was fairly successful in streaming for just about an hour here. Certainly was a bit stressed about getting everything going, but it seemed to work out just fine. So I'll catch y'all on the next live stream. If that's either tomorrow night. Hey, John, who's doing the Sidetrack Sunday? We're located in Portland, Oregon. Rick? This is one of the greatest shorts. J7's gone, but that's such a great pun. Dwight, you turned the short of getting shocked. I was so concerned when you saw the short. Sidetrack Sunday will be on Rick's channel. Foles Bailey Mile Railroad. Okay, well, Rick, I will see you Sidetrack Sunday tomorrow night. And if Curly, it couldn't make sense. You said you were helping Jesse, but I didn't know if that meant you're live streaming or not. If you are, I'll see you tomorrow at, I guess it's 1 o'clock Central Time. Right about. Oh, I'm not that Rick. Okay, well, lots of Ricks, lots of Johns. There's only one Dwight. Okay, I'll figure that out. I'll go over to the Facebook group. I'll figure out Rick's tree. Okay. Yep. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks once again for joining me on my little excursion around my layout. And until next time, catch y'all later. Let's see what we can do here. We'll do this. Wave goodbye. So, till next time. And Roy, sad to hear you're gone. Join my dad. Preceded you by 2 years. It's my little shrine to my dad up here. Got some of his collection of HO. My brother has the rest. But until next time, everybody stay healthy. Keep running your trains. And have fun. Have fun. That's the. If you're not having fun, what are we doing it for? So let's all have fun when we can. All right. See you next time. Bye-bye.